Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about collective bargaining. So collective bargaining is the process in which labor and management representatives meet to set terms and conditions of employment for personnel within a bargaining unit. So collective bargaining can range from negotiating wages for a single employee to an entire union negotiating with a group of organizations. So before we can actually bargain, we first need to organize to bargain. So this includes 3 steps. So the first step is determining a appropriate bargaining unit. So in the process of doing this, a representation election is held. And the next step is certifying an exclusive bargaining agent. So this can be a union representative, an administrative agency. At the federal level, this is the FLRA, or the Public Employees Relations Board at the state level. And once we have a bargaining unit and a bargaining agent, then a bargaining team is selected. So selecting a bargaining team varies between different levels of government, and each team selects a negotiator. A negotiator can be a union representative, a lawyer, a manager, whoever that agency or union sees fit to negotiate. So once we have our bargaining unit assembled, then we can begin to bargain. There are 3 subjects of bargaining. The first subject is mandatory subjects. So these are must-do matters. These include topics such as wages, holidays, sick days, work hours, overtime pay, legal services, bonuses, and job duties. Now, just because they're mandatory subjects doesn't mean that an agreement has to be met. These subjects can lead to a dead end that can even lead to a strike. When it comes to permissive subjects or may-do matters, members of the bargaining unit may bargain if they want to. Permissive subjects include the use of union labels or flags, or internal union matters. Now, these subjects are neither mandatory nor prohibited. Prohibited or can't do topics include subjects such as organization's mission or topics that courts have determined are beyond the employer's authority. These topics cannot be part of a collective bargaining agreement, even if both parties agree. So once we have our bargaining unit and once we actually begin to bargain, if we come to an agreement, then we can administer the contract. Now, typically the grievance process is used when administering the contract. And what the grievance procedure does is it lays out the steps that need to be taken in order to resolve the dispute. In order for the grievance procedure to work, however, both the supervisor and the representative need to be very familiar with the provisions in the contract. As long as both the supervisor and the representative are familiar with the contract, the grievance mechanism is a smooth and fair process for all parties involved. Now, people often think that there have to be winners and losers within a collective bargaining unit, but here's how to turn a power game into a problem-solving game. It is possible for win-win situations, and instead of seeking victory, aim for mutual satisfaction. Separate the people from the problem and reaffirm the relationship after the bargaining process. Hostility versus harmony. The doctrine of hostility is set for traditional collective bargaining, where there are 2 opposing teams and it all ends with winners and losers. Now, the doctrine of harmony is a more appropriate set of ideas that aim to maintain stable employer-employee relationships. The ultimate goal of the doctrine of harmony is to better serve the public by first harmonizing the public employees. Healthy work environments lead to the most effective work environments. This requires commitment by both management and labor force to build the foundation for healthy professional relationships. So there you have it. That's the process along with some strategies for collective bargaining. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.
Created using Powtoon.